All right, everyone, it is time to talk about the best penny stocks to buy now. I have some oldies but goodies on the list, definitely with some updates. 100% banger out there for one of them. Another one that is on the move that has been on the list, a new addition to the list, which is AREC. And then that honorable, dishonorable mention, we'll call it right now, BEEM. Beam, you dead to me. We'll talk about all those. I'll tell you exactly why I still think that they're interesting and why they're the best penny stocks to buy now. And if you would like to see further analyses on this, if you want to see what I'm buying and selling, see my receipts that go with the transactions with that 150% that I got on one of them last week, 100% today on Ocugen. Guys, link down in the description for the Discord. To click on the link, sign up, use the code word doctor when you do. It's going to get you 50% off your first month. And I'm just one of the panel experts over there. There's a whole team of us waiting for you. I'll tell you more about it later. Let's jump into the charts and talk about these best penny stocks to buy now. So first thing for you is Beam. And this is the one that I said you dead to me because it fell down below the support line. It also failed to break up above where I said that we need this up here as support for us. It just didn't do it. The 50 EMA needed as support, rejection, then went home and cried to its mom, fell down below the support line as well. Right now, it's trying to cross back up over the 5 EMA. It's trying to get back in my good graces. We got a very indecisive candle here in today's trading day. The RSI back down below 50. Not great for us. So this one, did it come to life? No, not really. Was it the best penny stock to buy now? It was at first during this candle that we got that big old movement back on May the 27th. And it just failed to perform. The rest of them are much better. That's why I put this one out there first. If we get back on top of the trend line, if we get back on top of the 13, we'll revisit this one. That one, we'll just keep it in the back of our minds right now. We'll keep it sort of on the alternate list, if you will. American Resource Corporation, AREC, is the next one, 25% up today. And it's like, Doc, we missed the move. Why would you talk about this one today? Well, because we didn't miss the move for this one. We just saw the move starting. Now, mind you, in terms of volume, check this out, and then we'll talk about some of the other things. The volume that we had going all the way back here to April the 14th, that was igniting volume. That was massive. Now, mind you, we don't want to wait until that happens. Now, it did work out pretty well back in April. By the time we got to the 17th, man, that's really where that skyrocket took off, and we've had an 83% gain. We actually have not returned back down to those lows. As a matter of fact, we have this lowest low going back here on the 29th of May, and then a higher low after that on June the 6th. The number to get above for this, we actually want to get above 90 cents, and we just haven't gotten there yet. I think that we're still early to this next movement that we could see. Some of the things that I'm looking at for looking at the momentum of this, first of all, the RSI up above 50, and in terms of the EMAs, we are up above the 5, the 13, and the 50. We got rejected at the 200, but that's to be understood after we crossed over 3 different moving averages on the way up there. Now, mind you, in a bearish side of things, the green below the yellow, below the red, below the blue, that is a bearish thing to see. But when you get them to cross over each other, you could start seeing signs of reversal, which maybe we're starting to see in the RSI, which could mean that this 25% right now could get definitely outsized as this thing becomes more valuable. We'll see if this is just the beginning of that movement. Let's take down the candles for just a moment. We'll talk about some of the other things that we see or that we want to see. We want to see this green 5 cross over the yellow 13. That's a good first sign after the price action moves up above it. The next sign we want to look for is this yellow crossing above the red. The green crossing the red is good. Green over red is still a bullish thing, but the yellow over the red is an even more bullish thing. We want to watch for the 13 cross the 50 with the price action on top of it with volume support, which we have some decent volume right now for this. We want to see that push. And then the next big one is the red over the blue, the 50 over the 200 EMAs. And that could be where we catch that rocket ship. So AREC is definitely on my list for best penny stocks to buy now. I think that this one could move for us, and we could see easily another $1 coming out of this, which would be 100% up. And if you have options on top of it, depending on what the options market looks like on AREC, it's usually pretty sketchy for the penny stocks, but you can still make them work under the right conditions. That is one to definitely watch out for. The next best penny stock to buy now, Pacific Biosciences, PACB. Look at this. Now, I told you for Beam, I said that we need to have this 50 EMA as support, and Beam was like, nah, guys, I'm too sad. I can't do it. Please just leave me alone. I just want to die in peace. Well, Pacific Biosciences came in and says, hold my beer. I got this. And it steps right up and it crosses up above those EMAs. It does it with some half decent volume. The RSI is over 50. Let's put this back up here so that you can see it. We need to have the 50 EMA as support. And so far, we absolutely have that with this most recent move. We had trouble crossing over 116. When we were finally able to take 116, that's where we got the next 4 cents out of this, allowing us to close at 120. I think we peaked at 121 on this. Now, take a look at some of these things that I was talking about for AREC, because for Pacific Biosciences, this one's already showing some of it to us. We actually see the green 5 crossing over the yellow 13. That is a good sign. RSI over 50 is also good. The green could cross the red really at any moment now. Next day or two, we could see that if the price action holds out for us. The 13 over the 50 is that next sign that we want to watch for. You'll see that when we get to some of the other plays that have already been more mature and have already progressed, and I'll talk to you about how they played out. But that's absolutely something that I want to keep watching for this, that we could keep on watching this thing push higher. And guys, we have a while for this thing before we could peak out. The price target that I have on this is all the way up. And it's going. There we go. $2.16. So I don't know if we get there. We have $1.78 that's in our way. We also have some pretty hard resistance at $1.48. We want to be watching for those. But if we can really catch that rocket ship for Pacific Biosciences, that is in the cards. And I have some options on that already. Fairly low cost, super high risk. And now, mind you, not only high risk because it's penny stock, so it's penny stock high risk, leverage high risk because there's options, plus their short-term expiration. June the 20th is the expiration date on those. That is super aggressive, and that's why I kept the capital low with a high potential for return on this one. We'll keep on watching it. Like I said, guys, the transactions over at the Discord, links down in the description. So that one is starting to be on the move. We absolutely want to be watching that one. We could definitely be early on that as well. Not quite as early as AREC, but PACB is definitely on the list. Here's Recor. Now, when you look at Recor for its price action, this is one that you're like, Doc, look at those red candles. What are you thinking for this one? Well, this one had already hit. This one already paid me 150% for the option play that I had on it. And anybody who did the due diligence and also followed me on that, I'm really porky pigging it today with this stuttering. I'll try to do my best here to fix that. But I talked about this going all the way back to, I believe it was on May the 20th was when I started talking about this. We caught our rocket ship on the 27th, came down and retested support, and then caught that next rocket ship with a 31% climb the very next day, followed by another 11% on top of that. Hit my price target of $1.61 before selling down. This play already hit, it already happened, and it might actually still have some legs. This is a much more mature play. Let me take down the candles for you so we can talk about what makes it more mature besides just the price going up. Look at the moving averages and how they're oriented on here. So if we go back to May the 20th, that's all the way right here's May the 20th. We have, and I'm going to really zoom in on this for you. There we go. On May the 20th, we have the green over the yellow and the green over the red. So the fastest moving average is above the slower ones. That's a bullish sign. Also getting the price action up above it is also a very good thing. Over here, going to May the 27th, that's where we got the yellow to cross the red, which I said is much more bullish sign than the green crossing the red. And you guys saw the price action that followed that. And then if we keep on going, we almost have that yellow crossing the blue, which is a darn good sign. We already had the green cross. Yellow crossing it is also very good if support can hold out. The biggest one, though, the big kahuna, the big whale on this is this. It even looks kind of like a whale. When you look at the red and the blue on this, you can see the whale's back and the whale's belly on this one. Getting that blue and red to cross, the red crossing up over the blue, that's a golden cross between the 50 and the 200 EMAs. That would be absolutely incredible. We would really push this thing. Now, mind you, one thing that I did do after getting the 100%, 150% on the options play for this one is that I actually picked up 100 of the shares. I sold a call against them, which reduces my cost basis for it. And if I lose out on that opportunity risk, this thing could actually sell for up to 170 before I really start to suffer that opportunity risk, which is pretty much right near the peak that we already saw. So if I lose those shares, if I get assigned to sell them, it's not a big deal to me. I make money either way. I'm already up money as it is. So working on profits in order to make that position, it's a place that I would like to be in. And like I said, guys, links in the description for the Discord. So let's put this back up here. Much more mature play when we look at this, when we look at Recore. And like I said, even though it already hit, there might still be some more legs on this, especially since it was able to take a rest. And so far, we're up above that 200 EMA, and we're also sitting above support at 140, which previously was resistance that we smashed through back on June the 3rd. So I'm actually going to take down the 122 because that one's now irrelevant. 140 I'm going to leave up as support. 161 will leave because you guys can see even when we go over here to this opening price at 162, got a big old rejection off of that before selling all the way down to 141 to close at 142 on this candle. And we tried to sell down below that today, recovered up above it anyway, still sitting on top of the 5. Still deserves to be on the list of best penny stocks to buy now. Still has some probability for some movement to it. QSI, this one, man, I'll tell you what, if the rest of quantum can actually hold out, if there's still momentum left for the quantum stocks out there, QSI should do absolutely incredibly for that. It was kind of subdued today, a little bit hot when the market opened, and it cooled off throughout the day. And well, we'll just watch and see. We have the inflation reports coming out. We have China and Trump talking. So tariff news can also rattle things that we see. Hopefully for a good mix-up, we'll keep on watching that. And also Powell coming out and talking next week. Guys, check out my video from this morning to hear more about that. This video is about the best penny stocks to buy now. So I have 2 more on the list for you. And let me pop the screen back up here for you. BBAI. This is another one that hit for us, again, going back to May the 20th. And you guys can see, once again, with the moving averages, that we did pretty darn well. So May the 20th was the first day that I talked about it. Didn't look so hot that day, closing at 355 before peaking, at least as a high close for what followed a week later. We closed all the way up at 455. So we put $1 on top of that. That's over a 25% gain over that time. And then we've sold off and sort of settled down since then. But we have the blue on the bottom, which is the slowest moving average, to the fastest moving average on top, right in order, 250, 13, 5. And if we can stay up there, this thing's still alive. The RSI reset all the way back down to 53 for this one. And once again, if we go risk on in the markets, this one probably set to blast off, especially with continued AI strength. Watch for NVIDIA to be leading the pack for this one. The better NVIDIA does, the better BBAI does as well. So guys, the next one I'm going to tell you about is the 100% gainer today that I put out over at, well, I put out the closing part of the transaction today over at the Discord. I actually put it out last week, I believe, for the opening position where I bought those call option contracts on Ocugen, OCGN. And once again, I'm just one of the experts over there at the Discord. There's a whole team of us. Stockmo is the leader of that thing. And I'll tell you what, he inspires me. He got me started in this, and I'm so glad that he did. He saw the potential that I had, and I really took to it. And he's like, hey, why don't you come on over, share what you know with my community? And I'm glad I did that as well. The community is absolutely incredible. There's thousands of members over there already. There's the bread bot, which can tell you the big moves are coming for some of your favorite plays that are out there. There's AI tools, advanced charting tools. You have a panel of experts over there, of which I'm a part of that as well. You can ask the experts questions as well, share our plays, share our thoughts, share our transactions, share our time with you, working towards financial freedom, building alpha in your portfolio, all the while that you're over there. That's what you're after, and we're over there to support you in that pursuit. And along those lines of support, you guys can continue to support yourselves, invest in yourselves, and support this channel by using the link in the description for Stockmo Academy, where there's an options course, which you can learn how to trade options like I do, and you can start to really take advantage of these penny stocks. And if you want to know the real impact of the technicals that I talk about, the technical analysis course really does an insanely good job of covering exactly what you need to know in order to watch for those moves and when they're about to happen. And the bread recipe trading strategy that's part of that technical analysis course is absolutely incredible, and I use it myself. I talk about it in these videos. I've already shared elements of it with you. Using code word doctor, not only does it work for the Discord, sign up using the earner tier, get you 50% off the first month, but code word doctor also works for those courses. If you bundle the 2 courses together, you save a ton. If you use code word doctor with that bundle, it's going to save you the most. It is such an incredible value that can just pay back to you in dividends with the knowledge that you get from it, and that you can take directly into the markets and start putting it into practice yourselves. Guys, let's get into Ocugen on here, and then we'll wrap things up. So Ocugen. Going to the last one. So this one, I said $1 was going to be a sticking point, and we want to watch for this thing to cool down. So I take it once again, going back to May the 20th. So all the way back here, I put this on my best penny stocks to buy now, and a few things to see. And I talked about it in this video. We have the yellow up above the green above the yellow above the red. That's a bullish setup, but we're down below that blue 200 EMA. And that's something that's a little bit troublesome for us, but if we're starting to move in that direction, if we start to cross over that blue line with the price action and the moving averages, that's a very good thing. And so let me see, May the 20th is right here, and we peaked out, we closed that day at 81 cents. I talked about it in the morning, so that meant that we opened that day all the way down at 74 cents, closed at 81, not a bad move. And then you see the move all the way up to $1. I didn't touch this one yet because I didn't know what was going to happen near that dollar. It says too close to resistance. I don't want to touch it yet. I'm going to watch it come back down here, reset, and then I'm going to jump in when it starts to move again. So we held support, and I caught on to that there. Once again, you can see that 13 crossing over, that the 5 period is just too noisy. It's a good sign when it crosses up above other moving averages that are slower. That's called a bullish crossover. With your faster moving averages crossing up over your slower moving averages, but really that 13 is the real kicker. And check it out, the first day that we did on June 4th, then June 5th, and then June 6th, and then let's take it to today when I finally cashed in, and we really buried the needle on this one, peaking all the way at $1.24 before closing all the way back down at $1.09. So guys, this one, it might be a little bit cooked for the time being. We're going to have to watch and see what the price action does. But in terms of best penny stocks to buy now, it's definitely, I think it should at least be on your list for the next move that it can make, because I really do think that Ocugen is a company that actually has a solid product that as it comes to market, maybe even turns into more of a long-term fundamental play. We'll have to watch and see. Penny stocks, man, they're just absolutely insane. And when you're talking biosciences, biomedical, that's probably one of the most insane places to find, but you catch it at the right time, you catch it early enough, when you start to see the volume pick up and you start to see those moving averages show early signs, those are the times to really pay attention. And guys, this knowledge and a whole lot more, not just from me, but the other experts that are over at the Discord, we're waiting for you. The community's waiting for you. If you like that idea of support, about celebrating on the up days, about having that support for you on the down days, we're all there together. And I'll tell you what, that community is lively every darn day of the week. Code word doctor when you sign up for the earner tier gets you unrestricted access to everything the community has to offer. And then also down in the description, don't forget about that link for Stockmo Academy. He and Mrs. Mo put together the perfect courses. I have my earned a doctorate in education with a concentration in educational technology, and then also a master's degree in instructional technology. I do that sort of stuff, that sort of course creation and curriculum building for a living in my teaching experience, building up my own curricula and really putting out the performance. And I can tell you, I vetted both of those courses and they are top notch, and they're there waiting for you, ready to go. The bundle with code word doctor is going to save you the most. If you only want one of those courses to try it out, fine, go ahead. Code word doctor is also going to work for any combination that you decide to do with those courses. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of these best penny stocks to buy now. And guys, thank you for all the support that you show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to see that every video that I bring out to here onto YouTube. Otherwise, I'll see you over in the Discord. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. We'll see you next video.